Thank you, Swati. Thank you, everyone. And I've had a fantastic morning so far. Uh, so I will not speak as a corporate lawyer. I'll speak as somebody who does a lot of pro bono work. And what has been the motivation for me? I've been in 11 years in the profession. What has been a motivation for me has always changed. Initially, it was the revolution that perhaps young lawyers want to bring when they're fresh out of law school. Then it moved on what looks nice on my curriculum vitae as to whether doing some pro bono work really makes me more as a holistic lawyer, to actually identifying causes that I am personally very passionate about and marrying my skills with that area of impact. Uh, so my pro bono journey started from 2011 after law school and has continued to 2022. Uh, and I can tell you that in a year at the firm, I spearhead the pro bono practice. And in a year, we approximately expend roughly about 600 plus odd hours of pro bono. So, what do we do in the 600 plus odd hours? And the reason why I want to share it with everybody here is because I understand that sometimes lack of an institutional structure can result into dilution of the effects, the desired effects. So an institutional structure sometimes, while all anarchists could believe that that's not the way to go about it, but I think when we are trying to develop something, an institutional structure in place really, really helps. 600 plus hours goes in the following manner. It goes in mentoring a lot of not-for-profit organizations. It goes in working with incubators and accelerators, CSR companies, high net worth individuals who want to invest money in the social impact sector. And quite naturally, both the sides require legal advice. And we do that at a complete pro bono basis. In the time when country was witnessing one of the worst humanitarian crisis, that is the second wave, I distinctly remember feeling so distraught having to do transactional work for money. And the firm actually allowed me to step out of all the live transactions and work with one of the biggest crowdfunders in India on a complete pro bono basis. And in 2 months, we were able to raise 800 crores that was put into augmenting health infrastructure in different villages, and that was done completely on a pro bono basis. And I don't know, I must have negotiated contracts against a Google, against even Cisco, and so on and so forth, for their CSR money being pulled into certain chunk and then the impact work happening. So the lesson that I learned is that sometimes people need to step back and think that, are they happy with what they're doing? Are they doing it simply because it pays their bills? Or is there a moral or a larger duty that the profession itself has? And if that is something that an institution, and specifically law firms, can cultivate, I think we are sorted for the large part. We just need to set in that context, that note for institutionalization. One easy initiative would be if we were something like the US, where pro bono is a mandate for continued legal education and maintaining your certifications. Indians respond very well to rules and regulations. They respond very well to a compliance sort of regime. And I'm sorry, that's because we have been ruled by foreigners for quite some time. And it is going to take another few years to get out of that mindset where actually pro bono is pro bono and not superimposed. But certain institutional measures, such as perhaps linking it up with a constant legal education credit point, which is important, is going to be a great step towards boosting pro bono. Initially, people might resent it, but I can tell from my personal experience that the amount of joy that I receive when I am perhaps incubating not-for-profit organizations on what are initial Section 8 compliances, uh, working with people in the tribal areas to actually get land in the name of tribal women, when actually I don't understand the language, even I actually have to take up a translator to help me understand what exactly a woman in Jharkhand is trying to communicate with me, or for that matter, when there is big chunk of money that can be used in augmenting infrastructure in India in any impact sector, I have felt that I have felt more fulfilled as a person versus doing a billable matter. So that is the culture of pro bono. Interestingly, I see in people when they get appreciated as partners or promoted as partners in organizations, an important appreciation matrix is how much do you do as pro bono? What is your contribution to the community? How are you using your skills for not just making money, but actually making a real change, a real impact? And there are also various other ways of incentivizing apart from just making it, a mandate from the Bar Council itself. Uh, Recently, IFLR, I don't know if people are aware of it. There are a lot of publications and rankings that comes out of for law firms, in-house general counsels. Okay, there is only one that I've seen that actually merits pro bono work, and that's IFLR. And the kind of pro bono work that is compared to actually get the law firm award from IFLR for pro bono is equivalent of like whether did you actually put money in setting up an hospital during the crisis. So people actually invest money in pro bono to be able to known for their pro bono activities. So I think there is a lacuna in India for listings and recognizing law firms also that actively do pro bono. It is the ecosystem really is the not-for-profit ecosystem itself has a lot of regulations that they have to deal with. There are very few specialists in that area. So an organization or an outfit that really works with them is trying to leverage their skills and marrying it to the social impact space, increasing awareness about law. I don't think there is enough recognition to that, and the recognition goes a long way in people really recognizing the value that it brings in. And the last thing that I would like to say is how you can use your pro bono practice and culture uh, as something as of a brand value. Why I'm saying, because people understand these terminologies. People are at a law firm or an in-house counsel or a company, they understand if something they do and if that adds to the brand value. It's almost the similar parallels like Apple saying that we respect your privacy, right? So it's a brand value that you create. So if a firm or an organization does pro bono, I personally feel that within the organization, the message that has to be communicated, number one is top down. The people at the top, they have to communicate that message, saying that this is what the culture is. This is why we do pro bono. This is because we think we can actually be part of the change process, and not just work in silos. And most importantly, you're doing this, not your all your efforts don't go a waste. Internally you incentivize, but externally it is a big brand image. Like if ever anybody is interested in, you go out on my LinkedIn page, my pro bono clients are the ones who come out and shout out for me as an excellent lawyer. And that is something that I truly deeply value, because it's not just a positive affirmation, but also a constant boost for me to continue what I've been doing for the last 11 years. With that, the last note is that I think some amount of institutional incentive and a mix of both is going to really unlock the great potential that is still there.